Hey everybody, ChannelBK,
Hi.
Joshua Kirk. It's the end of the year. We've been doing this now. This is our sixth year. This is
Wow.
crazy. Where's all the time gone, Josh? Where's all of it gone?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. And now we're like in the second half of a decade. Uh, says yeah, like wink, wink, people. I actually came out with a book about the first half of the decade.
you should check it out. I'm going to leave the Amazon link in the description below. So
Yeah.
we'll bring that up at the end of the video. But for now, we're going to talk about an album and a single. We're keeping it short and sweet, mainly because it doesn't give away our list, because our lists are going to be coming out at some point soon after this video.
Yeah.
Um, my single kind of was a pain in the butt because I messaged Josh and I told him, I was like, hey man, I almost forgot about the end of the year, what's on repeat. Are we still doing it? Like, what's the game plan? And he's like, well, let's do a single and an album. I'm like, okay. So my album was very easy to figure out given the fact that it's something that's just come out like a few weeks ago. But single, I'm like, I don't have a song for something that's like coming out next year. I'm like, what? What do I? And I thought it was a little clever because this isn't an artist that I've been very late to. And this album was something I did not bring up at all. I probably would have brought it up if I listened to the album when it came out. So this is kind of like a fun little like wink wink of an artist and an album that I really, really loved this year that I didn't get to talk about.
And,
But
and
it's kind of
I
a
was aware of the album when it originally dropped too.
yes, yes, because you brought up your opinions on it, and I was like, hey, I can't believe it took me so long to listen to this album. It is Sam Fender featuring Elton John. The single is Talk to You. He put out like a deluxe version of this album. And I'll be honest, it's a lazy choice for two reasons. One, because it gives me an excuse to be like, hey, Sam Fender's a guy that I found out about way after I should have because he's awesome. I think he's so great. He's super, I think he wears his influences on his sleeve, but I think he is still a really good songwriter and performer, and I still think he does it in a way where it doesn't just sound like his influences. Um, and this song to me is just it could be nicely tucked away on his new People Watching album. I like Elton John's contribution. It's just the keys, which is I think honestly, it's kind of one of those like that's an interesting collab. And then you listen to it and it's kind of like, okay, Elton's not really singing on it. Um, and I think his storytelling is great. It was again, it was a lazy single because I'm like, well, what do I have? I don't have a single for an album next year, and I'm not gonna say a single from an album that has already come out. Maybe I could have,
No.
like an album that I didn't like, but there's a single from it that came out in the past 3 months. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of my quick I really like it. It's a good song. It's more Sam Fender. And like I said, it kind of gives me an excuse to go, yeah, sorry it took me so long. It didn't take me this long to listen to it. I listened to it like I think sometime in the summer because I heard that people watching song for the first time and I was like, whoa, this is pretty dope. What is this? And I went back, I'm like, whoa, I like this. So yeah. Talk to you. Go listen to it. Go listen to people watching too. It's an excuse for me to bring up another album like 10 months too late. So, anyways.
I mean, oh yeah. Well, my single is from a band that I would say I kind of went like your single's kind of more mainstream, but like mine is like very indie and like this band, they're not like the most well-known group, but like for that kind of audience, they're definitely like kind of held in high regard. It's the new Rat Boys single. Well, technically the second newest Rat Boys single anywhere. They've been around for a while and they have like quite a few records
Mhm.
under their belt. But it really wasn't until their last record, The Window, 2023, when I actually got around to listening to them, and I know you got a chance to listen to it as well. And we kind of had the same opinion of like the album was fine, And like it wasn't like bad or even like boring. It was a solidly put together like album that was like some indie rock, some Americana, maybe a little bit of kind of Midwest post rock in there, but it just did not really capture us the way it did most people. But now it's a couple of years later. They have a new album coming out February of next year,
Mhm.
and this is like the second song they've come out with from it. And this is just one of those things where I did go back and listen to the first track they came out with, which is kind of like these singles so far, I think are already showing diversity because like the first track they came out with, Light Night Mountains, all that, kind of a strange title, but it was like this it's kind of like this 6 minute moody kind of post-rock sounding kind of song, which yeah, they kind of did a little bit of that on their last record, and they're kind of continuing with that here, which is interesting. But like this song, on the other hand, is like much more immediate, and it's just this really nice, like upbeat 3 minutes of very catchy, well-written indie rock. I think it sounds really good. I love the drums on it. Some of the riffs on here are cool. Like there's one lead riff in the song that's like a like I have that stuck in my head. And then like the vocals, like there's such a personality coming out of them. And then like the songwriting is like it's not the most like poetic thing you're gonna hear in this genre, but like yeah, it's kind of the turns of phrase in the lyrics, like opening this song by saying like I know it's bad, but I can't help my panic attack. And then the chorus is like I'm going anywhere that you go. I'm going anywhere. And it's just got this really great groove to it. And yeah, listening to the song was just the funniest thing of like, oh, maybe this is why people love them so much. Because like there's definitely like more of a personality to it that I really like. And yeah, it was kind of like I don't remember anything off their last record like hitting me this much, but like with the stuff I'm hearing from the album so far, now I'm like oddly kind of excited uh for this new Rat Boys record. And like we don't have a lot of really records announced for next year yet. I mean, I know we have like Charlie XCX and like Gorillaz and then we have these guys and a few others. Like that's kind of how it goes every year. It starts out slow, and then once we get to like maybe like spring, summer, it gets crazy. But yeah, that's very much the like the single I've been, listening to a lot. And yeah, I knew that like I wanted to talk about it because because they're definitely a band that like again like indie music kind of audiences, yeah, would likely know who they are, but like otherwise you bring them up and they're like, who? Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get into a couple albums. And they're yeah, oddly enough, they both came out last month, so they're kind of still fresh. I just brought her up last episode because she was the single that I had. It's Hatchie with Licorice. Um, so this is an album that I don't feel like I have to be like super descriptive in order to like kind of tell people about what it is. Um, I'll just say right off the bat, I love it. Like I think it may be probably the best dream pop album I've heard in a bit. I mean, I would say like the Soccer Mommy record last year kind of came close. But this is like, I mean, there's been a lot of great and really good albums this year, but I definitely would say that there haven't really been too many albums that I've heard this year, even ones I really liked, that like really just felt like a journey from start to finish, where it's like the sort of thing that you put on and you're just immediately just sucked into the vibe and you're just kind of you feel like you're in this like dream state uh for like a little over 30 minutes. Uh but like this but yeah, that's the kind of vibe I get from this album because like it's this album that is, I think, I mean, it's very well produced and well written. Like the attention to detail on this album, like I'll say, like some of the bass sounds and grooves on this album are just fantastic. And I think like yeah, just the guitars, like I don't know what like pedals they're using and stuff like that, but it just has this like uh really cool feel and then I think like her vocals are like they feel like strong enough and like carry enough weight with these songs to like make them to really give them some life, even though it's not the sort of thing that's like smacking you in the face. Like it's kind of subtle. Like the intro does a good job, kind of, yeah, sort of kind of letting you just sort of settle in to its vibe. Only One Laughing comes on and sort of picks things up and really like gets things cooking with, yeah, this really good song that's like very well put together. Um, Self-titled track, Licorice, brings the mood down a little bit, and it's yeah, a little more like quiet stuff like that. But like I really like the sound of that. Um, Sage is one of those songs that like has been like stuck in my head for a bit, specifically that hook where which is like can't you see more than just ecstasy? Like it's like yeah, it's just like very yeah, it's a sweet little like earworm. And then like second half of the album is kind of where if she's showing a bit of like versatility. Like the song Wonder is like has more kind of a punk feel to it. Some of the because like the guitars and her vocals are like fuzzed out, and I think it worked. And like that hook in the second half, like I'm kind of getting like Oasis vibes, which I know is a weird comparison to make, but like I get this like old school kind of Brit rock feel. Like it's an odd combination, but yet I think she pulled it off. Lose It Again, I already talked about that song in my single, so I don't think I need to say too much more. Probably spoiler, one of my top three songs slash singles of the year. Part That Bleeds, I think is uh one of the most unique sounding songs on the album. I love how that's put together. And then the finale, it's just this like soaring, euphoric, like banger to just like end the album on. And like I think it's frankly there couldn't have been a better way to cap off this album. And that's that. That's the album. Like it kind of is a record that kind of like yeah, like it's pretty much no ifs, ands, or buts. It just does what it kind of intends to do and like does it well. Like it's not like, it's a nice like tight track list and nice sort of, succinct length and and yeah, it was kind of like it was definitely this was the album that I went and listened to before anything else in November because it was like really the big thing I was like excited about and really like interested to see because like I was because I did listen to her last record in 2022 and thought it was like it sounded cool, but it didn't like, you know, it didn't like, grab me much. But like but then again, but then I heard that single and I was like, oh, and then I heard the rest of the album and I'm like, oh yeah, I think she came out with something really, really solid for sure.
No, I did like the album as well. I didn't necessarily know what to expect because when you'll kind of give me like a take that's something I know, and I know you brought up Always, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I think the thing about it is Always to me, I mean, obviously their last record I felt like was a lot more like in your face. Like it brought a lot more aggression to
Yeah.
the dream pop style.
Yeah.
But I think this is like a medium. Like I feel like there's moments where I get sort of that kind of typical always sound. Or I guess I shouldn't just strictly say always, but like
Yeah, I
that
mentioned
more kind
Soccer
of laid
Mommy.
back feel, and then there's more point. Like the thing I will say is she definitely grabbed my attention more than a lot of artists in this genre and a lot of more of these singer-songwriters. Like I think that she has a unique voice. I think her sound is good. It definitely has like I think there's a lot of places she could go with it. But I was never like bored of it. It definitely it kept my interest for the most part the entire time. Um, and I was like drawn in by that. So no, I did enjoy it very much. I thought it was a solid record.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're gonna just keep the vibes. I don't want to say positive, more so just kind of we're gonna chill, have a good time. Because let me tell you, this record is everything extreme from me not really having any real knowledge of these guys, which we'll get into that because I know my normie take's gonna come out. But let's just say that this album, when I was trying to figure out what's the album gonna be, and I listened to this album for the first time and I said, not only is this album going to be on What's on Repeat, I think this album is possibly going to already jump into my top 10 of the year. So, spoiler, because I think this album is fabulous and I have a weird take on it as to why. So, let's get into it. Cabin in the Sky, De La Soul. So, here comes the normie-ness. I know De La Soul, obviously. Like I know them. I've not listened to a full album of theirs. I've heard them. I've heard songs of theirs. I know who they are. I
Oh yeah, it's like tell that to my dad. He's gonna be like, "What?"
He's gonna
So
be mad. He's like they've always been a group that I've always known is something I need to get to, and I just have never gotten to it. I remember like 10 years ago, they came out with an album and it was like you could get all their albums for free. And I remember I signed up for it and I had like all of the downloads for it. Like it was like an old email. And I never got to it. And I heard a lot about this album. It was kind of like a intriguing listen. And as well as that normie take, I'm about to probably say something that's going to be annoying because I'm going to bring them up quite a bit. Not because I'm comparing them sonically or stylistically, it's because this is the closest thing I can think of. There's another rap group that had a member pass away over a decade ago, and their final album, which I don't know if this is being labeled as their final album or not, but it was like, oh, so what is it going to be? And it was absolutely fabulous. That group is a Tribe Called Quest. And this
hell
album
yeah.
to me is almost the exact same feeling I had, which is obviously I'm going into it with an open mind because I don't really have a history with De La Soul. And the corny statement I'm about to say is this album makes me feel nostalgic for a time that I wasn't even alive for. I listened to that Tribe Called Quest album. I'm like, this sounds like a old head group making a modern album of what they would be doing back in the day for modern audiences, modern time. It's not them going for pop hits or whatever. And they're making a mature album that is has a lot of life to it and is unique and fresh, but also still them in a modern way. Like it doesn't feel dated. Spoilers, I just listened to the new Nas record. It was the last record I wanted to listen to at DJ Premier. I actually thought it was a little underwhelming. I don't think it's terrible. Like it was fine, but that to me is the idea and the equivalent of okay, here's an old ass rapper, old head talking about old head shit, and it's good. It's not doing more for me. This album, it's over an hour long. It's nearly 20 songs. Well, I guess technically there's some skits in there. I don't think I got bored at all. Like it was a journey. It's gorgeous. It is like so layered, so detailed. The rapping is incredible. The features are great. It has sort of this loose narrative that starts with Giancarlo Esposito, Gus Fring himself from Breaking Bad, and it's kind of like him in a classroom and he's like, "Who's here? Okay, is everybody here?" And he's like talking about, all the features on the album. And then the album just gets rolling. And it is, I was legit just bobbing my head, listening, being like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like it feels so warm and so full of life, this album. And again, back to the Tribe album, I know, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. That album to me was like, this is crazy how amazing this album is from an older group making something like this and doing it in a way where it could be labeled maybe like again, there's certain things on this album where I feel like people are going to go into it and be like, "What?" Like, okay, so there's a song deep into the album. It is called Patty Cake. It is exactly what you think it is. The song starts and there's clapping and they're doing the nursery rhyme, patty cake bakers, man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. And then they spin it into this wonderful little thing of storytelling. And then the beat comes in and it is legitimately stunning. Like it is gorgeous. I'm like, oh my God, this is like incredible. And we've had like a renaissance of like old head rap this year, like from the Clips, this album. Like there's been like so much old head rap that is
And
like
that Clips record is dope.
yes, like it's fantastic and it's so cool to see these artists doing something that is them but modern, but not modern like poppy or trend setting. Like it's just a newer version of what they are. Like again, Patty Cake is a fantastic song. The Package, which I believe is like the one of the main singles that was released because I had to research this for my singles as well. Wink. The beat on this is fucking insane, dude. Like, oh my God. And even like some of like the vibe tracks on here, like Day in the Sun, Getting With You with Q-Tip. Like it has this fun little cutesy vibe to it. And I'm like, this works so well. Like the whole album. And it's crazy to me that this album came out when it did. Because this is such a great album for the summertime. Not because it's like vibey, it's because it's vibey. It has great production, great lyrics, great performance. There's a song on here, A Quick 16 for Mama, which is emotional. Killer Mike shows up and has a great verse on there. I think that's fantastic. Black Thought shows up on the song NF, which I think is probably the like standout track on here. The haunting beat on this is just incredible. And again, like they just sound incredible. Like every song on here is so well put together. And I remember listening to this album and I'm immediately like, oh, this is such a great album to listen to. But like every once in a while, I would like peek something they were doing and I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh my God. And like the whole cabin in the sky metaphor and like this, like it's just this album, it's crazy. And you know what? Again, maybe someone who is such a big fan of De La Soul, they may say this album's pretty good, but not what I'm making it out to be or whatever. But again, as I stated multiple times, and I'm going to state it one more time to get my point across, That last Tribe album, I felt the same way. I'm like, this makes me feel like I'm back in that era, and I wasn't even alive. I mean, I was alive for some of Tribe, like in their heyday, but I wasn't alive in '93. For Low End Theory, like I wasn't there. But I think
That
it is
album is a classic.
it,
Like,
but it's a
do
classic
dig it
album, and
up.
it's like you want to feel like I wish I knew what it was like back then
Mm,
to be in that moment.
mm,
This
mm.
and the Tribe album, I'm like, I feel nostalgic for an era that I wasn't even around for. And I think that is absolutely incredible. Like, that is amazing. Like, I'm sitting there feeling like, I remember this. And I'm like, no, I don't. I wasn't alive. I mean, I remember like that music and like I know a lot of that stuff, but I'm like, I wasn't alive then. I wasn't alive. So I'm like, what am I talking about? And I think that to me shows that your album is incredible because I felt so nostalgic. Like, oh my God, remember like De La Soul? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Brian? Your first introduction to De La Soul is Feel Good Inc., okay? Because you're a real normie. So like, come on now. But there's really not much else I could say about this album other than I think you all just need to go listen to it because it is not going to waste your time. De La Soul ending 2025 for me as the album that y'all should go check out. You should check out everything, but you know what you really should check out? The link down below. Joshua put out a book and it's really exciting. Look at this man over here is all published, big time. Check out the
Yeah.
Amazon link below. It's been a crazy thing. Like how long has this been in the making for this book?
Yeah, yeah, like pretty much a year. Like I started in February, and I've been kind of, yeah, plugging away at it since like November, pretty much. Eh,
That's exciting. That's cool. You should check that out because that's really good I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's the end of the year. It's been another year.
well,
New year, same shit. Definitely get ready to check out our list though, because we're already at that time of year as well.
yeah.
And yeah, other than that, like, yo, like, how was your 2025 music related? You can talk about the last few months. You can talk about overall. Leave it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, you can. I guess be on the lookout for our lists coming out. Again, go check out Joshua's Amazon link for his book. Go check out his channel because I know he's going to be getting his list. Check out his social media as well because he also posts his other rankings on there as well. Um, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
stuff going into these next few weeks. But I hope if you
Yeah.
are watching this during the holiday, have a good holiday, have a good New Year, all that stuff. Um, And who knows? We'll see you all in 2026 and we'll
Oh
see
yeah.
what the next journey of what's on repeat is. So, um,
Oh yeah.
till then, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in to Channel BK. Peace out, everybody.
Woo.